Hey, guys. Today we're talking about how your nervous system may be impacting your finances. So, the nervous system powerfully influences your financial behaviors and your decisions. And it's key to making more money and to being able to scale your business and to bring in more success and to building wealth in general. Yet, it's a topic that's often overlooked when it comes to money, when it comes to money mindset. Today, you're going to discover how your nervous system impacts your finances, how this is overlooked in most of that money mindset work that we just talked about, yet it's the key to making permanent shifts in your relationship with money. And stay till the end to discover how to begin regulating your nervous system to new levels of wealth and abundance. So today we're digging into the power of the nervous system and how it impacts your finances, how it impacts your money mindset, how it impacts your relationship with money. So I'm going to give you a little primer about how your nervous system actually works first so that you understand what the heck we're talking about if you're new to the whole nervous system world. So basically, our nervous system is continuously giving us feedback, our conscious brain feedback. So we have two parts of our brain, right? We have the subconscious part that's out of our awareness, and then we have the conscious part, the thinky brain, right? Up top that, thinks the conscious thoughts. The subconscious part of our brain does things like helps us walk upstairs, right? You don't consciously think, put one foot up this degree and put it forward and put it down and shift my weight. No, you'd go crazy. That's the subconscious part of your brain. It's taking care of business in the background. The conscious part of your brain is the part that's going, let me think of the pros and cons of this situation and think through it logically. That's the conscious part of your brain. Freud talks about this in terms of like the upside down iceberg, you know what I mean? Where there's just the little tip at the top of the iceberg, which is the conscious part of our brain, the top of the ocean that we can see. And then underneath it all is all of this subconscious stuff going on. The subconscious part of your brain is actually in charge of keeping you safe and keeping you alive. It evolved in a part basically to, keep us breeding into the next generation, to protect us from a lion that's chasing us down. And so it's very, very much responsive to our stress response. And so when we're stressed out about something, what happens is that our subconscious brain gets the signal from our physical bodies usually that this thing is not safe. It's a danger to us. And so we must do anything possible to protect ourselves from whatever it is that's stressing us out. Well, let's be honest. In our day and age, we're not being chased down by lions, but what we are is we're being chased down by concerns about things like money, things like how do I make the next sale in my business, things like how do I keep my money, how do I keep my money safe, how am I a good steward to my money, right? And so money becomes a stressor. So what happens is our nervous system, because of physical feedback that our bodies are giving our brains about whether or not this is stressy, is saying this thing is not safe, even if it's something that we want more of, like money, wealth, abundance, all of that kind of thing. Because here's the real kicker. 80% of the communication in this part of your nervous system goes from your body to your brain, and only 20% of the communication goes from your brain to your body. What this means is that even if you are consciously thinking, I want more money, I want to grow my business, blah, 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 if your physical body is giving your brain feedback that this thing is stressful, as in, my shoulders are going up to my ears and I'm feeling very tense about this and my stomach is upset, your body is going to override your brain. And so this is why a lot of folks that I work with will say, I know I want more wealth and abundance. I know I want to build a bigger business. And yet something keeps holding me back and I don't know what it is. It's because there's usually these subconscious stressors, which are physically giving our brain feedback that the thing that we desire is not safe. And so we're holding ourselves back from it on a subconscious level that's outside of our awareness. So this is essentially the way the nervous system works. And what happens is when we experience chronic stress through time, like around money, like around paying bills, like around growing our business, like around being more successful, whatever it might be, that chronic stress basically makes our nervous system go into a constant state of overdrive, into that fight or flight response. And we are always hypervigilant for the next problem. We are consistently losing access to our highest level resources as well, because this is the way the nervous system works, right? The nervous system, obviously, this response is adaptive. Like I said, it really primed us to run away from a lion. You know what I mean? You're supposed to feel stress. You're supposed to feel this experience so that you can run away from the lion and live to fight another day, so to speak, right? But it's only supposed to last like 10 minutes until you've survived, until the episode, the stress response, the thing that's stressy is over. But these stressors in our environment today, in today's day and age, they don't end after 10 minutes. Your bills don't just disappear after you've paid them. And so we end up staying in this chronic state of stress, this chronic state of tension, this chronic state of fight or flight and hypervigilance for the next problem, for the next issue, for the money is just always just such a headache, I'm going to avoid it, right? We go into these fight or flight responses, which end up causing all kinds of self-sabotaging behaviors. And I'm going to be talking about this here in the next few weeks here on the podcast as well. But it's really, really important to understand that your nervous system and that fight or flight response and that chronic stress around money will always be impacting your relationship with money. Because as long as it feels like something that's unsafe, as long as it feels like something that's always stressy, that subconscious part of you is always going to be holding you back from having more of it. And this is the part that is so important for you to take into your heart, mind, body, and soul, is that this can be why you have felt stuck in your financial reality for so long and you just can't seem to make it budge. You just can't make a change, right? A different way of conceptualizing this and thinking about this is when we talk about your money set point or we talk about your wealth thermometer. What this is it's like, imagine setting, the heater in your house at a certain temperature, right? You have a certain range of a temperature that your house is supposed to be in. Let's say it's like 68 to 70 degrees, to talk Fahrenheit. And when the temperature goes above that range, what happens is your air conditioner kicks on and it brings the temperature down again. What happens when you go below that range is the heater kicks on and it brings you back up again. Well, that range, when we apply it to money mindset and when we apply it to building wealth, is essentially your safety zone. It is the zone in which your subconscious mind and your nervous system feel comfortable and safe inside of. And so you have a range, a financial range that you feel safe having, holding, earning, and scaling to right now. The problem is what happens when you want to scale and grow bigger, create more wealth, make more money, have more freedom that the money gives you, all of that juicy stuff, right? What happens is you hit that ceiling because the thermostat hasn't been turned up. You haven't turned and tuned and reprogrammed your subconscious mind to be able to hold on to new levels of wealth and abundance and feel safe in the having of it. Because when you reach outside of that range, outside of that comfort zone, what you've been comfortable with all along your whole life, what happens is your subconscious mind and your nervous system goes, oh, this isn't safe. Oh, this is maybe overwhelming. Oh, this is maybe something we can't handle. And so it brings you back down to that income level that the subconscious mind is convinced is safer for you. And so this is why, again and again, a lot of times my clients and perhaps yourself have found that you return back to the same place over and over again. And you see it in like lottery winners. You know what I mean? People win the lottery, they win like $4 million. And then suddenly 3 years later, they're back, working at the convenience store or whatever, because that's where their nervous system feels safe. And so part of them ended up just spending the money as quickly as possible because it was a subconscious sabotage to say, I don't feel safe in the holding and managing of money. And so I'm going to let it, I'm going to find a way to let it go. You may have even seen this in your life, and I see it in a lot of folks as well, is when they end up beginning to scale their income, when they end up beginning to build wealth, what happens is they start to go into things like overspending. They get a lot of bills suddenly out of nowhere. The money is just suddenly gone before they can have it, or they get really, really inconsistent income months and they're in the feast or famine mode. And so like they're making a lot one month and then the next month they're like, where's all the income gone? Because this nervous system piece has given your brain feedback on a subconscious level outside of your awareness. You're not choosing this, that says this isn't safe. And it happens over and over and over again until we reprogram the subconscious mind and until we regulate the nervous system so that we feel relaxed and we feel at ease with money instead of feeling overwhelmed and burdened and like money is going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z, more money, more problems. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to feel that way. We need to make our relationship with money one that is built upon things like trust in ourselves, trust that money's got our back, trust that there's abundance all around us, trust that there's always more so that we're not coming from things like scarcity all the time. There's not enough, right? And just think about the tension that rises in your body when you think about things like there's just not enough. Now, there are some exercises I can walk you through to really evaluate whether or not your nervous system is dysregulated with money. But a really, really quick and easy one is, if I were to say to you, just close your eyes for just a second, if you're listening to this, and if I were to say to you, how does it feel in your body if you received an unexpected bill for $10,000? How does it actually feel? Did you feel your shoulders go up to your ears? Did you feel your whole body tense up? Did you feel yourself go, oh crap? Well, chances are that money is a stressor for you. Because instead of slipping into belief and a feeling that you can handle it, you went into a stress response. And that stress response, had we allowed it to continue and had we gone further with it, may have kicked you into a spiral of, negative emotions, limiting beliefs. Oh, there's never enough money, or I can never get ahead, or why do these things always happen to me? Or even beliefs about yourself, beliefs like, I'm not lucky like other people are, or I always have bad things happen to me, or I can't seem to handle money very well because I'm always getting these kinds of experiences. And so when we end up spinning out into those emotions, into those limiting beliefs, into those feelings about who and what we are in relationship to money, what happens is we end up feeling even more stressed. And that stress ends up becoming a spiral. It becomes like a spring that's getting tighter and tighter. And so then that stress kicks up our nervous system response that says money is not safe. And so we end up then, and I didn't talk about this earlier, but I meant to, we end up losing connection with our higher level resources. Because when it comes to surviving, when the lion's chasing us down, we don't need to be creative. We don't need to have connection with other people. We don't need strategic, problem solving. We don't need any of those things. This is why, the rest and digest portion of our immune system goes basically offline when we're in stress. And we are, we get really sick and all of those kinds of things happen, is because you don't need any of those things to survive the lion. And so when you're trying to survive the lion, all you need to do is you need blood pumping through your arms and legs so you can run as fast as you freaking can. So you lose access to your higher level resources. Unfortunately, those higher level resources, emotional, like emotional intelligence, all of these kinds of things, exist when we feel more relaxed, exist when we're in that regulated nervous system. This is when we can build community and connection with people. And so we lose access to the exact things we need in order to achieve our next income level, in order to deal with the bill that might be coming down the line, etc. Another way to really evaluate whether or not your nervous system is dysregulated with money is to ask yourself, if I were to deal with a money challenge, like a $10,000 bill unexpected in the mail, would I feel as though I could return to my baseline, to my feeling of safety within 10 minutes? Or would I get knocked off base for an hour, for the whole afternoon, or for the rest of the week? We should be able to return to our baseline in about 10 minutes. And so if you aren't able to do that, then chances are you have some dysregulation going on around money. And so it's really important to address the power of your nervous system, the power of this stress response in relationship to your ability to build more wealth and abundance. And I have a ton of resources that, I'm sharing with you guys here about how to really begin to understand the power of your nervous system. And, you can do a ton of amazing exercises to help regulate your nervous system to new levels of wealth and abundance. And you can check out some of the links to explore how to begin to do that, how to really regulate your nervous system, all of that stuff. But here's a little experience for you to understand the power of when it comes to your nervous system and building wealth and abundance. So I want you to just for a moment, close your eyes, and we've imagined experiencing and having that $10,000 unexpected bill come in the mail, and allow yourself to feel in your physical body exactly where you feel any of that tension, any of that tightness, and allow yourself to experience it. And then I want you to just take a nice deep breath in as you're allowing yourself to focus on and feel that experience in your body. Just take a nice deep breath in. And at the top of the breath, just think of the word release and just sigh it out. Sigh out any tension. And allow yourself to see that part of your body that's holding the tension, whether it's your shoulders or whether it's your stomach, and just allow yourself to see it just relaxing with each exhale. And take another nice deep breath in and allow yourself to just release it. Any and all of the tension in that part of your body, and allow it to just melt away and begin to break up effortlessly and easily as you continue to breathe in and think of the word release. And sigh audibly if you're able. And just allow yourself to release any tension. And then I want you to just return to the present moment and ask yourself if you feel less physical tension than you did a moment ago. That was an extremely, extremely simplified nervous system regulation practice. The sighing is another portion that is really helpful in regulating your nervous system. There's a ton of amazing exercises that you can do to help regulate your nervous system, but it's not just doing exercises like deep breathing and releasing tension. It's actually allowing yourself to believe on a really deep level that it's safe to make more money, that it's safe to release these things that have protected you so long in regard to your feelings of stress and overwhelm when it comes to money and building wealth. And when you can step into that feeling of ease and relaxation and frankly, pleasure and joy and expansiveness, right? Where your chest just expands and it feels really good. The concept of money, even if it's a bill, you're always nourished and you can always figure it out. And it feels really natural, and it doesn't feel like, trying to cram yourself into pants that are 2 sizes too small. And when it feels that way, that's when you're really shifting your relationship with money. You're really shifting your nervous system in regard to money. And it's not just a matter of taking a few deep breaths. It's a matter of that deep knowing and belief that you're meant for this, that you're meant for wealth and abundance. And then you can approach things like, rewiring and moving your money set point, that turning up that wealth thermostat so that you can make more. And that can become your new comfort zone and your nervous system feels comfortable there. You can release money blocks and limiting beliefs around money with more ease, because the thing with money blocks and limiting beliefs around money is they developed to protect you from the thing that felt stressful. And so as long as that thing feels stressful, you're not going to be able to let them go and reprogram those money blocks and those limiting beliefs around money. You have to make money feel safe first. So I've covered a lot of ground today, and hopefully it's helped you understand the power of your nervous system and money, and how powerfully that stress around finances can impact your financial reality. One last note before we wrap it up today, because I get this a lot, is how do you actually do this when in fact things are stressful with money? Well, let me turn it on a dime and let me turn it upside down for you here. Everything comes down to our perception and our perspective on things. Yes, is money something, like let's say you're not making what you need to or what you want to be making right now. You can still shift your perspective. One of my favorite psychologists is named Viktor Frankl, and he actually was in a Nazi concentration camp. And he said the quote that basically the last of man's freedom is to choose his attitude in any given situation, because he saw people around him in a concentration camp choosing either to be positive and to help people or to feel crushed beneath the experience. If someone can do that in a concentration camp, we surely can do it with things like our finances aren't exactly where we want them to be at the moment. So our perception and our mindset and our beliefs and our ways of approaching things and the lenses that we put on are impacting everything. And you can shift that no matter what is going on in your reality. You can always change that. You can always shift that because you are that powerful.